Hey everybody, how you doing? John Stevens here. I have a special guest that I'll introduce in 1 minute, but you can see his smiling, amazing face there. Real quick, can anyone tell me what Herodotus wrote about, what Alexander the Great looked for, and what Ponce de Leon looked for? They all went after the fountain of youth. Now, today's product spotlight is not the fountain of youth, because if it was, I would live in Florida and I'd be selling it by the jar. But
you don't want to live in Florida today. Let's just be honest.
Probably not. Probably not. But it's a healthy aging product that is categorized as that, healthy aging from Isagenix. But it is so much more. And the story behind it, I think, is pretty amazing. And how Isagenix is a trendsetter in this area, an industry leader, and how it's something that we can do to, A, make our bodies healthier, have the healthy aging that we want, and more importantly, build our business with this amazing product that can be something that goes all the way for us. So I'm going to introduce this gentleman here. Tyler Dickerhoof is here. He is our upline on Team Anchored. He is a great friend of ours, and he is, I like to call him, a nerdy nutritionist, because he knows a lot about nutrition. That's his thing. He's an incredible businessman, leader, all that kind of stuff. And Tyler and I were talking, and we were like, man, we need to spotlight this product. And so before we introduce the product, Tyler, can you answer a question for me?
Yeah, man.
First and foremost, what are telomeres?
So
and
telomeres.
What do they do for you?
Yeah. Telomeres are maybe something you've heard about most recently. It's kind of become a popular subject the last 2, 3, 4 years. You can pick up magazines that are talking about it. You can, really all forms. Telomeres are, if there's chromosomes, we know what chromosomes go back to, high school biology, all those things. Chromosomes, on the very end of them, they have these little things, they're called telomeres. And telomeres are, they measured them. And through a lot of research, what they figured out is when you're conceived, there's a certain length. And when you're born, there's a shorter length. And when you die, there's an ultimate length too. And it kind of goes through that progress of shortening over your life cycle. And they've been able to determine the length at which your telomeres are, kind of in a way predicts your age, predicts your, when you're going to die, all those things. It's a lot of developing science, but that's what telomeres are. They are the very end of your chromosomes. And I think that has to do a lot with, in my perception, rejuvenation, body recycling, all those great things.
Okay, so we kind of know what that is now. You kind of explained it for guys like me that didn't do very well in biology or chemistry or organic, whatever. You don't have to do that if you want to be good at this business. But no, that's good baseline. So let's enter in this product here. And I've got a couple jars of it here. I got a bottle of it. Isagenix there, if I can get it to Isagenesis.
You see on that, if you put that back up.
Yeah.
Okay, on the very there you go. It's all gray, silver, and at the very end, there's those little red things. Those are the telomeres. That's where it's at the very end.
Okay, so that is there. These are sold by themselves, the Isagenesis, but then they're also in the men's vitamins, the complete essentials with Isagenesis, and the female version too. So
you take that, right?
When I
that's what gives you the lovely bearded lady. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yes. When I run out, though, I do take my wives. I take some stuff out though, but
no, it's not. It's okay. You're all good.
Anyways, let's get back. Okay. So, hey Tyler, real quick, what does this product that Isagenix entered? How does it address the telomeres?
Okay, so let me give you a little backstory history. You think, why does Isagenix have this product? How does this all fit in? Well, the master formulator of Isagenix, his name was John Anderson. He was kind of one of the first founders. He was a master formulator, has formulated hundreds and hundreds of products. Well, there's a really cool story with Isagenesis. It actually used to be named Product B, because it was in laboratory how they discovered it. And for many years when we first started in Isagenix, that's what it was called, Product B. And they branded it about 2 years ago. So John Anderson had a good friend. His name is Bill Andrews. And Bill Andrews runs a laboratory in Arizona, still does, called Sierra Labs. And Bill actually was the runner-up Nobel Prize winner. And Bill, was going through a lot of science, and he had really kind of honed in on the telomeres. And being in a laboratory setting, he used chemicals to get the telomeres to respond. And, what happened is he delayed the rate at which they shortened. And so he and John, good friends or whatever, and John's always up for a challenge. I've met him a couple times, super great guy, but you can tell he's really, if I'm a nerdy nutritionist, I'm infantile, blows me away. And he loves a challenge and a puzzle. And he's like, all right, Bill, I got you, dude. This is what I'm going to do. Because John is all about natural, herbal, botanical, find the most amazing products in the world and how we can use them. So he's like, okay, I'm up for this challenge. I'm going to put something together all natural to see if I can mimic the results of what you're getting chemically. And so he does that in the first couple, 3 or 4 times, and he failed miserably, not even close. Bill's like, you sure you got anything in there? Because I think water did the same. And so he's like, no, okay. So then all of a sudden he goes through, figures it out, and he gets almost the same response as what Bill did chemically. Wow. And he's like, I think I'm onto something. He goes, just wait. So he comes back, and then all of a sudden he doubles the response. And then he triples the response. And then all of a sudden he blows it so far out of the water, Bill's like, I don't know what you're doing, dude, but you're on. That is Isagenesis, formerly known as Product B. The science behind it, again, is what allowed Bill and his counterparts to be the runner-up and the Nobel Prize, Science Prize, I think it was probably 10 years ago. Bill's gone on to write a lot of research about it. Bill himself is an ultra marathoner. I think he's done 100 milers in the Death Valley in California, just stupid stuff. Lives in Arizona, and that's what he has done, and that's his science, and that's Bill, John.
Wow. Okay. So basically, this product, if taken regularly, can show a marked difference in what? And I know you have a personal experience with this. I know when we were in Columbus a couple of years ago, it kind of started something. And can you kind of talk to that and then kind of tell what it does?
Yeah. So the science and the belief behind Isagenesis, and there hasn't been clinical trials other than trials done to, get to the Nobel Prize start, that stuff with John, but there haven't been any people studies, partly because it's kind of hard to study over, length of life. But one of the things that I learned early in my nutrition is time out. If you ever watched infomercials, there was this guy named Ronco. Oh, yeah. I don't know what his name was, Ronco. And he had this cooker. And it was great because you slide in this piece of meat, you turn the dial, you set it and forget it.
Forgot it.
And that was, do you ever see that?
All the time. Saturday, Sunday
afternoon. Set it and forget it. And so my belief in nutrition, as I've studied and I've practiced, is sometimes you have to take what is done in, really controlled laboratory settings, and you have to believe it and set it and forget it. Now, there are ways to analyze and look at this. And so there enters Isagenesis. I believe in the science. I believe in the research they've done. And there's been other researchers that have confirmed Bill and ultimately what John have done. And so take the product, set it, forget it, move on. Okay, so enter in kind of my experience. So a few years ago, I was losing my hair. Lost more. I feel like I'm getting older. We start with Isagenix. I start feeling better. In our upline, Gianni Elo, at that point, Product B, as it was named, had just kind of started out. And they're like, you know what? I know at that point, Gianni's maybe in her late 40s, early 50s. And she's like, I take extra. So I take, not only what's in the complete essentials, but I take a couple extra each end of the day. I'm like, sounds good to me. I want to be younger. And if it helps my hair grow, great. And so I started doing that, and I just do that routinely, and it's just part of setting and forgetting and believing in the science. Enter in our experience in Columbus, and we're sitting there, and we're going to go to a game together, and there's this commercial, and it's for a company called TeloYears, and TeloYears has gone on now several years later, and what they market is they have a blood test that you can mail in, much like Everlywell and those other companies that are active today. And what happens is they will then take from your blood, assess the length at which they project your telomeres to be. So I did that. And I did it when I was 37, and I got the results back, and it showed that I was 25. And it was one of those things. It was like, wow, that's kind of amazing. It's either 25 or 21. It was one of those. I think it was actually 21. And all that I could attribute it to is really I had taken Isagenesis. I had taken a lot of it. So I'm like, why not take extra of it? And so what I do is I take my complete essentials every single day, twice a day. Like I also take 2 in the morning and 2 extra at night. And, some of those things as I'm getting older, it's like, how is it showing? Well, I don't know. I mean, I know that I'm able to compete. I play sports with other guys, and I attribute a lot to Isagenix in general. And part of it, I believe, is Isagenesis, is my body's able to, slow. I've done, again, those tests. I actually have one second. Look at this. I have one right here. You can see that test, telomeres, at home sample collection kit. And one of the things I found out is this is just me. My numbers because they look at your age and they justify it. My numbers were out of whack last time. They said, hey, we don't know what's wrong, but it's not working. And to me, that was a sign of like, hey, I'm throwing them kind of off the charts because I've regressed that much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I do have another one that I need to do, and I'll probably do that today now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, my goodness. So you took it, and it showed that you were 21 years old, and wow. So let me ask you a question. With this product, it's not one of the most popular products. It's not. I think that fortunately, we have 100 amazing products. We have more than 50 scientists on staff, but this is one of the products that probably doesn't get the fanfare it should. And from all the stuff you just told me and we talked about and you can read about, this is legit. We are industry leaders in this. Who should be taking this? I mean, who is the target audience? Because when I hear healthy aging, I think I'm healthy aging right now. Why should me as 41 years old be taking this? Who do you think can take this? Who can't take it? Who can it benefit?
I mean, I really look at that point of view as everyone is, probably take the easy, safe route out and say 18 and older. But it really is, it affects the process along your life cycle every single way. And I'd rather be, work at slowing the rate of shortening when I'm in my late 20s, early 30s than waiting to my 50s where it can only, change that rate at a certain speed. So, that's why I think it's magical. When Isagenix developed it and released the product, and this is probably 7-8 years ago, it was right around the time that we got started in Isagenix, they were the only company that marketed. Now there's a few other companies that have, I would say, products. I talked about telomeres.
Yeah.
They have a product, that they bill will help you. I'd love to compare that to the results of Isagenix because I believe that the guy that developed it and the guy that's magical in formulating products probably have a better product, or it's been mimicked. But, that's where I believe in Isagenesis, and we really have the opportunity of wherever you're at, it's something that you can make sure, using the complete essentials is having it in there. You want to, add in a little extra. I mean, hey, that's where I take that risk. And to me, I think it's worked well. I don't have a lot to base that off of. It isn't like I had the opportunity of testing before and testing after, but I do believe in the science and therefore I believe in its effect. And it really absolutely is for everyone. And I think it can have so much of effect. One of the things that I was talking to someone yesterday, and they shared in 2011, there was a Harvard medical paper done, and they did it on mice study, and using a telomerase. And that's what it is. It's an enzyme. So Isagenesis is an enzyme that affects the telomeres. So ACE is an enzyme, telomerase. Wow. And what they found is it massively affected how mice that were compromised with cancer dealt with that cancer.
Interesting.
And, so you take again from those studies and again, there hasn't been a lot of human studies because of, the nature of the product. But if you believe in that science, to me, it only is going to help affect whatever challenges you're going through. And again, that rejuvenation of the body and really, one of the things that I think that the principles that Isagenix is so amazing about, and this just mimics it, is it's all nutrition and science from the inside out. It is provide the stuff that your body can utilize and perform and go from the inside out rather than putting something on your body like a Band-Aid and trying to affect outside in.
Wow. No, that's right, man. So this is the cool thing. The study that he was talking about, I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to link you to that study after this video and I post it, but there are articles that can link you to those studies. I can do some podcasts that the scientists talk about it. All the information you have on this, I'll put the flyer up that describes what Isagenesis is. And man, this is a product that if you want to think about what sets us apart, what Tyler just said sets us apart. We're not putting stuff on our faces and on topically on our bodies. We're putting stuff inside and growing ourselves from inside out and making us healthy and having that wellness we want from inside out. And this is a huge deal, going right at the DNA. I haven't talked DNA since we were messing around with what do they call that thing? A helix or something?
A double helix.
A double helix. I must have been working with the single. That's why I didn't do well in whatever class that was. Anyways, yeah, Tyler, man, I appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much for your expertise. And this is huge, man. I think this thing has done so much already, but I don't know if people really know about it. We talk about it maybe one time at one of the big events, but I tell you what, if I was watching this and I wasn't taking it already, I would add either the vitamins with Isagenesis to my order basket, or I'd go ahead and just go straight to this, or both, because like you said, you take it in your packet, one at night, one during the day, but then you double up. What is it, 2 in the morning, 2 at night?
Take 2 extra. So I take 4 more a day.
4 more days. So cool, man. Hey, I appreciate it. And everybody, I'll go ahead and post those links down there to the PDF, a podcast, and some articles on Isagenesis. Tyler, thank you so much. This was a product spotlight of the day. And hey, man, I know you play flag football against younger guys, so it must be working, right? I mean, what are you playing with, like 18, 19-year-old guys out there and stuff like that?
Well, they're a little older. They're like 23, 24, all former college athletes, and I can hang. So,
hey, I don't need a study when he tells me that kind of stuff. Thanks, Tyler. I appreciate it. Everybody.
Absolutely, guys.
Any questions for Tyler?
Shoot it.
You can put them in this link here. Or Tyler, how can they follow you or ask you any questions? Instagram?
Yeah, Facebook, Tyler Dickerhoof. Make sure you look for the guy with the shiny head. There's actually 2 others out there.
No way.
We're related cousins somehow. Of course we are. But yeah, and post in the group. I think I'm in the group too. That I'd love to answer any questions you guys have.
Thank you so much, man. Take care, and everybody, thank you for joining us. We'll see you.